Hello, and welcome back to another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today, we're looking at things that were invented by rednecks, with fewer guns and booze than you would expect. 10. Dental floss. With a diet of corn grits, moonshine, and hitchhikers, we only talk in stereotypes, so please excuse us. It's no surprise that most rednecks don't have very good teeth. Yet dental floss, also known as that thing your dentist always warns you about not using, was invented by a New Orleans dentist. Levi Spears recommended that his patients use silk thread to get their teeth clean way back in 1815, and the idea stuck. 9. Candy floss. If corn grits, moonshine, and the flesh of a hitchhiker are not to your taste, then there's still a good chance you've suffered with bad teeth in your lifetime, and candy floss may have played a significant role, in which case you have the Deep South to thank, and William Morrison, also a dentist, in particular. Candy floss had been around for many years before Morrison came along, but he made the process simpler, less time-consuming, and better with his 1899 invention. 8. Astro Turf. Although many sports stars hate it, Astro Turf does provide a great alternative to fresh grass pitches. It doesn't react in the same way, but it is a lot cheaper. It also doesn't require as much maintenance as the real thing, and if real grass isn't on hand, it is the next best thing. This substance was invented in North Carolina by David Cheney, and while it has been phased out in many countries, it is still relatively common in the United States and Canada. 7. Bourbon. Although the history of bourbon isn't that well documented, we can say with relative certainty that it was invented in Kentucky, with many attributing it to Elijah Craig. Craig founded his own distillery, and bourbon is still produced under his name today, alongside a number of other famous Southern brands, including Jack Daniel's, which is one of the best-selling bourbons in the world. 6. Vinyl. Invented by Waldo Seaman, vinyl, or PVC, has been used in a huge number of products over the years, from records to pipes and more. Seaman's invention went much farther than that, though, as his work helped to supply the Allies with synthetic rubber at a time when the Axis powers were blocking their access to the real thing. These rubbers were used on weapons and vehicles and helped to contribute to the war effort. 5. Filing cabinets. Filing cabinets are so essential in many industries, you'd think that they would have existed in one form or another for many hundreds of years. But the truth is that the idea of this space-saving essential didn't come along until the end of the 19th century, when it was thought up by South Carolina resident Edwin G. Sibils. 4. Tippex Whiteout. Necessity is the mother of invention, and when Betty Nesmith Graham noticed that her terrible typing skills were affecting her career as a typist, she realized that something needed to be done. Graham, a native Texan, created a fluid that could erase her many mistakes, after which she could go over them. She called this fluid Mistakeout because apparently her creativity was just as bad as her spelling. But it would later become known as Whiteout or Tippex in the UK. 3. Shopping cart. Shopping carts are strange things. They never seem to go where you want them to go, there's always at least one receipt in them, and they usually end up in canals. But they serve a purpose, and life would be a little more complicated without them. So we all owe a debt of gratitude to Sylvia Goldman, who invented the shopping cart in 1937, basing the design on a folding wheelchair. It was first used in the Piggly Wiggly supermarket. Speaking of which. 2. Modern shopping. Not only was the first shopping cart invented by a Southerner, but so was the first supermarket. The Piggly Wiggly store was the first to price products and place them on shelves, the first to let customers collect and then purchase the items themselves, They were also the first to standardize layouts across all stores, and the first to create many other things commonly associated with modern supermarket. And Piggly Wiggly was created by Clarence Sanders, who spent most of his life in the South and founded his first store in Memphis. 1. Video games. You probably expect the person credited with inventing video games to be Japanese, but he was actually from the Deep South, Thomas T. Goldsmith, which is the most un-Japanese name in history, created something he dubbed the cathode ray tube amusement device. This was invented way back in 1947 and paved the way for many other earlier games that you might be more familiar with. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.